What is poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at an anime review. This one was recommended to me on TikTok, and something that I sort of saw and decided I wanted to watch. I watched one episode of this, and then took 6 months to pick it up again, and then I had to force myself to finish it. I made 3 Lego customs on this TV show, this anime, and it is called The World Ends With You. It is a video game that was turned into an anime. You can play it on mobile and DS, so that kind of tells you the quality that this game has. I don't know if it's on anything else, but I do know that it is on mobile and DS, and they are the two main selling points for this game. As anytime I tried to search this thing, it kept coming with the mobile version and the DS version. My DS probably still has full charge in it, so I could play this if I wanted to, but I don't want to. But this is an anime review, so we have to get into what Google has to say before we can get into my opinions, the opinions that matter. So, it's a quick one this time. Neku is transported to an alternate plane and forced to participate in a mysterious Reapers game. That is literally all the information you get on this anime. So, very similar to Sword Art Online. Kid wakes up in this new world, being attacked by frogs. He's told that he needs to fight them to survive, and he has to create a bond with a character. He has to create a deal, a partnership, and once he does, he gains powers of elements, I do believe his powers are. He can control fire, electricity, and explosions, whereas his partner in crime can make her teddy bear big and duplicate the teddy bear, which is the main sort of action that she has. She just fights with a teddy bear. That's pretty much it. So they defeat the frogs, and this girl tells her, hey, if you die here, you die in the real world. You have to survive for 7 days, completing challenges, and then you have an opportunity to live again because you're currently dead. So he has an existential crisis, being like, oh shit, I'm dead, but I can't remember anything of my past. How did I die? Why am I here? What am I doing? They then meet Beat and his little sister. His little sister then sadly dies, and Beat turns into a Reaper. We then have these two winning the game, and, in winning the game, only one person can win. So they send headphones back into the game, but there's always an entry fee. His first entry fee was his memories, and the entry fee is always your most prized possession. So his second entry fee was his newfound partner. So he has to survive this second time round with his partner in this never-ending state of death to make sure that he saves her. We then see Beat, who's back again, and this time he's being a little bit of an asshole towards Headphones, but he isn't actually actively trying to hurt him. He is just defending him and killing all the noise, which is the frogs, the kangaroos, all the different animals. Obviously, it's a new week, so it is a new host of the games, and we have my personal favorite character, Sho, being the host for these games. He makes another friend, another partner, who is very suspicious, and is constantly on the phone talking to this coffee shop man, who ends up being Cat, someone who he admires and loves and adores, who makes him apps and pins for the game. And again, he survives that week, but his best friend actually gets out, and he has to play a third time round, but this time he's playing all by himself, and he's all alone this time. But Beat decides to make a pact with him and give up his opportunity of being a Reaper. So these two are the final two in the game, and they survive a third time, but this time it's much harsher because all the noise is attacking them. They have to fight Sho, they have to fight all the Reapers. They're slowly collecting these pins to help break down all these walls so they can find this lady, when this lady is actually Beat's shadow and has been following him the entire time. They then beat this lady, they beat another higher up, and they see the Grandmaster was actually his partner from the second game. It's a big plot twist, and his partner gives him his memory back, and his partner actually was the one that killed him in the first place. Big plot twist. He decides, hey, you know what, I'm not going to kill you. I trust you, let's be friends, and they all survive and they all go back to the human world. And we never actually see his original partner's real face, which is annoying as fuck. But that's where the series ends. I'm going to be honest. I watched the first episode. It didn't hook me in, so I gave up on it for 6 months. I then eventually came back to it because I still kept it on my list, and I'm like, you know what, I'll come back to it at some point. I then made this thumbnail for it, so then it would force me to watch it. and I made the video prep for it, so I had to watch it. So I watched the first 3 episodes, the next three. So I'm on episode 4, and I'm like, this is boring as fuck. So then I decided to watch a couple of movies, give myself a break, and then I came back to it, and then I watched the next 3, and I'm like, fuck, there's still another 4. So I watched 2, and then I gave up on it and watched more movies, and then I watched the last 2 last night. So I'm all caught up. I've finished it, and it has a very similar art style to Danganronpa, which is an anime art style with the very thick black outlines on the characters. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of that art style, but the voice actors were cool. The voice actors are always good. They convey emotion pretty well, but the story is just boring. It's something that I've seen over and over again, with Sword Art Online being like the main example, where you go into this game and you die in the game, you die in real life, but with this one there's a slight twist with you're actually fighting for your life back and you actually have died before. But again, it was quite boring and a trope that I've seen before. Beat had his sister die and I didn't really care. Like, that was supposed to be like a heart-wrenching moment where everyone got sad, but I didn't really care. She wasn't a character that I really liked, or even got the chance to get to know that well, to even care that she died. And that's what they kind of do. They rush you through 3 weeks of content, like 3 weeks of games, in 12 episodes, and they don't split it up evenly either. Like, the first week goes in 3 episodes, the second week goes in 6, which then leaves 3 episodes for the last 3 games. So it kind of, like, takes the cake a little bit with like pacing. It's pretty shit because some episodes are like 2 days long, and then other episodes are like half a day long. So the pacing is genuinely terrible. It's not like a day per episode. It's not like 1 week per episode. And it kind of rushes over some things. And I know it's based on a game very similar to Danganronpa, to be fair, which was also a game. But the Life or Death game is getting old. It's getting boring. It's getting overdone. I don't remember when this was made. Probably came out before Sword Art Online, gonna be honest. And it is a lesser known anime. And I've been watching more of these lesser known animes. And I'm gonna be honest, I kind of regret it. It is boring. I did hear a load of familiar voices though. A load of familiar voice actors were in here. No, Bryce Papenbrook, gonna be honest, he wasn't here. He would have probably made it better though if he was here. I love that guy. And I watch in dub. So there's that. Because I struggle with reading, so I watch in dub, not sub. Again, disclaimer, which I have to say in every anime video before y'all yell at me. But story, very boring, very dry, very overdone. Beat, is like the best hero. I'm gonna be honest. He has the most substance to his character, with his sister dying and then trying to save his sister and actually caring for Headphones when pretending to be a villain. He had like the most character arc and the best story to him because he was an asshole in the real world and he decided to change through the game. And Beat was just sort of there. He was very sort of isolating himself and just wanted to be a loner. He didn't really have that much emotion to him. His voice was very monotone and boring, which, again, is very boring to watch when your main character is that boring and monotone. He also had the weakest power, which was just fire or electric. His power was whatever the plot needed it to be. Like, he could shoot loads of different elements, whereas Beat fought with chains, which I thought was quite cool, and his original partner actually fought with a teddy bear, which, again, is really interesting. Had actual powers, not just fire, fireball, fire, fireball. Again, very boring. He used fire the most, but then he would randomly hit you with the electric power or the water power. Something just randomly out of the blue. They never really explained his powers either. It was just like, he can control elements. Whatever element he needs. And, yeah. He also was stupid as fuck, because every time he started a new game, he tried to use the power, and he would even say, oh, I don't have a partner, so I can't use my power. And then he would still try and use the power anyway. He was just stupid, and it just made me hate the main character even more than I already did to begin with. The best villain is Sho. He was the most interesting one. He loved math, and he always made like cool sort of games to do with math where you had to sort of work out the coordinates or do a math puzzle to work out the coordinates, and then you have to put the coordinates into place. And it was just really cool and quite interesting. His games are the most entertaining. Shame that he took the last 3 days of his week off to stop making these games and just made everyone, practically win by doing nothing. But yeah, the anime wasn't that good, gonna be honest. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. I'm gonna be honest, I'm glad that I watched it. I'm glad that I actually went through with it and finished it and didn't just leave it on episode 1, because I quite liked some of the characters here. Like I said, I like Sho and I like Beat. They were the best two. And I'm glad that I didn't just leave on episode 1, because with episode 1 you're only introduced to the first two characters and I would have never seen these two guys. And yeah, that's really it. The story wasn't interesting enough to keep me watching and get me excited to watch it. It sort of made me dread watching it, to be honest. I was sort of like, I have to finish this just so I can make the video, and I don't actually want to watch it. And that's how I felt watching a couple of other anime and movies as well. I already planned to make a video on it, and I made the thumbnail and everything, and then I'm like, shit, now I actually have to go through with it and watch it, but I don't want to because the first part of it was shit. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I'll see you all next one. I hope you all have an excellent day, and goodbye. If you do want to be sort of featured on the channel and do have any suggestions for any movies, anime, and TV shows for me to watch, please do leave them down in the comments below. I'll watch them, I'll get on it as soon as I can, and with that, bye-bye. That's the end of today's scheduled upload. Goodbye.